Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to the Spiritual Roundtable. This is a Sunday through Thursday live stream show based on the card divinations that I draw in the morning. And it's a good one today. I'm hoping to have a really good spiritual conversation around the cards that were drawn. And basically, it's about what's the best way to put it? I speak to my spiritual team and I ask them to show me what's the energy that's flowing today that's most important for us to know about, for our highest good, for our soul growth, and so that we can, have those aha moments, those insights, right? And so it's for the highest good. And so that's the intention that I set every day for the cards that we get. And today happens to be Thursday, July 25th. Yay! Yay! I know. Before I get rolling too far down the road with the cards, I want to use my phone, and I am going to find our live stream, and I'm going to like it, and I'm sending it over to my timeline, and to remind my friends that I am live streaming. So it's just going to take me a second. We do this every day, and I invite you to do the same thing, even if you just share it with one friend, right? Somebody that you think that would appreciate the information that we're going to be sharing, or maybe the community, right? Okay, so I'm telling my friends hi, and that I'm live streaming right now, and to see if they want to come out and play. And the live chat. There we go. There. And I do know that Stephanie is not going to be joining us today because she has an appointment. And so I'm going to also send the live stream over to one of our closed groups, the one that we have for the live stream shows. And we're going to send it over there. There it is. And so we're just going to remind the peeps that I'm live streaming. There we go. And also asking them to please join us. There we go. There. That works. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long at all. And I really do see us when we do this kind of sprinkling the information over to our timelines or to a friend. It really is about us light workers, us energy workers. It's kind of like a civic duty, whenever we find a video, a post, an article, anything that helps us along our way with our soul growth, why wouldn't we share it, right? Because if we found it, if we were looking for it, somebody else is too. And so it's just kind of a nice thing to do for someone else, I think. So that's what I do. Good. All right, let's see who's in the chat. Who's joined us so far? Oh my goodness, Jen's here. Good morning, everybody. She is from down under. She's, I think, you say Oz, right, Jen? So it's morning down by you. Yeah. I'm so happy to see you. I know what it takes to join any kind of, I'm going to turn off the crawler thing. Oh, there we go. It does take some time, right? And it takes sometimes a little planning, depending on what you have going on at home and where you're at. Maybe you're at work. And so it takes a little planning to join a live stream. So, and then Marie's here too. Hello, Marie. It's good to have you here too. It's always good to see you. And look, Julie's here as well. Hello, Julie. This is your last day at your job in the old place. Yeah, you get to start your new job soon. And Rob is here too. Howdy. Hello. Every time I see that word, howdy, it always reminds me of two of my brothers. I have 4 brothers, one of which walked on gosh, it's got to be 18 years now, 15 at least, something like that. But the two younger, well, see, my younger brother and the brother who's next to me, Pete, he's 3 years older than I come from a hunting family. And so when my brothers are together, they talk a lot about this. Anyway, it was one hunting season, and my youngest brother was coming out of the woods. They had just done a drive of some sort. I don't know. He was coming out of the woods, and our older brother was leaning up against the car. And so Peter was leaning up against the car, and my youngest brother goes walking toward him, and our oldest brother didn't recognize him from a little bit of a distance. He wasn't wearing his glasses probably. And so he just told our younger brother, howdy, howdy, like he didn't know him. And our younger brother goes, what the hell are you talking about? Howdy, howdy, you don't know who I am. So every time I see that, I laugh, because it's just that kind of exchange between brothers, that, yeah, howdy, howdy. Hey, Jocelyn's here too. Hello, Jocelyn. Good to have you here. Oh, Julie says she's cleaning out her desk. Yeah, it's exciting stuff, isn't it? I bet you're finding stuff you forgot you even had in your desk. And Jen says, Australia, 5 a.m. I really like your live stream to start the day. Oh, that's good to know, Jen. Good to know. Good to know. And Australia. It's on my bucket list. We're going to change that. It's not a bucket list. It's a living list, right? Yeah, that's it. A celebration list. One of these days, I want to see the sacred sites there. I've been to a lot of other sacred sites around the world, but I've never been to the ones in Australia. So that's why I want to go. Tina's here too. Hello, Tina. It's good to have you here, busy lady. I'm so glad you're here. We're just getting started, so you haven't missed anything. Oh, that's a good one. Manifesto. That's the manifesto list. All right. So and those who are joining us by watching the recorded live stream, hello to you too. I'm so glad you're here and joining us. And for those who might be just joining us maybe for the first time, and you're wondering, what the heck is that all about, this live stream? It's around the divination cards that I draw in the morning. And the intention is for Spirit to show us what energy is flowing today that's important for us to know about for our spiritual growth, right? And to help us to gain those insights, right? Okay. And the card deck that we're using, we just started using this one, is the Shaman Wisdom cards by Leida Richardson. And it's copyrighted 1998. 1998. We just started using this week. We've had a couple really good conversations about the cards that were drawn. All right, so there's 3 cards today. And I'm going to apologize a little ahead of time because I have to go a little fast because we have a show, one of Star Nation's shows with Maureen Mann, Angel Therapy, coming on right after this show. And I want to make sure that I give you guys enough time, if you're going to be joining Maureen, that you get a little bit of a break, right? If you have to run to the bathroom, or if you want to grab some beverage or something like that, and meet us back in the chat room at Angel Therapy. Yeah, that way we get to do it together, right? All right, so, because I'm going to be in the chat for her show. So anyway, here is the first card. It is the 4th card in the deck. There's 65 cards in this deck. The 4th card, and it is, I gotta get my camera to focus, Rose Moon. Rose Moon, it represents the astrology sign Cancer. Words associated with it is shields and adolescence. Shields and adolescence. And look at the center of that, okay? So above the circle is a braid of sweetgrass. And so sweetgrass grows here in the United States, actually all over the United States. And literally, it smells sweet, and it is one of the 4 sacred herbs given to us by the Creator here. And it brings joy and happiness. Okay. There's 2 eagle feathers. There's a wolf or a dog. There's a rose, a teepee, right? A couple other things in there that I'm not sure what they are. See if we can get it a little bit closer, and in focus would be good. There we go. Rose moon. So rose moon goes from June 21st to July 22nd. June 21st to July 22nd. Right? You know, and one of the things that we know about the astrology sign Cancer is that it's a nurturing sign, right? And it's a water sign. So it has a very feminine energy to it. And when in balance, it's very nurturing, very nurturing. When it's out of balance, it's very controlling. We can kind of think of a mom who is in balance and a mom who is not in balance, right? Yeah. Hey, look who else is here. Hello, Valerie. It's good to have you here. It's good to see you. It's been a while. Glad you're back. Pat's here too. Hello, Pat. Good to have you here too. Good to have you here. Let's see. So this is the first card. Let's see if we can get it to focus. I still have to work on my camera. I was supposed to do it the other morning, and we got involved in something else, and I didn't make time for it. But I will get that done before Sunday. Make sure we're not dealing with out of focus cameras. All right, we're going to get this thing to focus. There we go. There we go. All right, so here is what the author says about this. It says, I am Rose Moon. I am beauty unfolding. I am the sweet fragrance of life. To enjoy me, you must deal with my thorns. Beware. Turn the page. Under rose moonlight, your qualities of mothering, nurturing, and giving beauty are emphasized. You may need to mother your own inner child at this time. Tap into your inner strength, your ancient crone, the old aged one in yourself, to take care of the teenager who is craving attention. Ooh, that's kind of a mouthful, huh? George is trying to get comfortable. Yep, he just hit the table too. And he's on my foot. His usual spot during shows. All right, so this is all about rose medicine, right? And for those of us who are really attracted to rose medicine, for a lot of different reasons, right? It also represents love. And it's the sweetgrass that they have there. I understand why they pair it with the rose moon. One is that you can harvest sweetgrass during that time frame, during July and August. But it is also brings in the sweetness of life, right? And so if you have rose and you have the frequency of love, that's a pretty good combination. And so when I was reading the information, these are the things that jumped out at me. It says, I am beauty unfolding, the sweet fragrance of life. Under the rose moon, your qualities of mothering, nurturing, and giving beauty are emphasized. Okay? So in many ways, we can look at this as is our soul unfolding, right? Yeah. Just recently I saw, was it a meme? It was a short video. Oh, I know what it was. It was on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday, right? I think it was I can't remember who her guest was, but they were using the symbol of the rose, a metaphor of the rose, and how in the springtime, how it bursts through the soil, right? And it begins to grow. And as it's growing through the roots, the energy is being sent up the stem of the rose, and then it starts to form a flower bud. And the buds are pretty too, but it's not until the rose is starting to open that we see the layers of the petals, right? And in the Fibonacci ratio, it's so beautiful, right? And so they were using the metaphor of the rose and um, how our soul is here on earth. And that when we start to use our gifts and when we are balanced and grounded, and our soul is expressed through our gifts, right? And so they use the rose as a symbol, as a metaphor for that. And I thought, oh, how perfect, right? And even with the thorns, because we could use the thorns as parts of our personality, right? Our earthly personal, our two-legged personality, because we all have them. We all have thorns, and so sometimes you have to be careful on how you handle your friends, right, and your family, because they have their thorns. They might be a rose, but we still have thorns. And I know there's a song in there too, right? Who is that? Every rose has its thorns. Every night has its day. Something like that. Just when you start talking about music and songs, look who pops in. Hello, Julie Hedges. She says, oh, just turned in and it's roses. Just did a talk last night about the healing power. Did you really? Well, good. Then you can add a couple of things to this conversation. Because this is the first card that came. Rose Moon. And the Rose Moon goes from, oops, wrong page. Goes from June 21st to July 22nd. And so it's about the Cancer, the astrological sign of Cancer. And oh my gosh, this camera, I don't want to blame it on Mercury retrograde, but I might just do that. All right, so it's also talking about how nurturing, right? And that we may have to call on our inner crone, our inner grandma, our in the Ho-Chunk language, it's the Gaga is the word for grandmother. And the Potawatomi word for grandmother is Nok-Miss. And so calling on our inner Nok-Miss or Gaga to take care of our inner child, right? Yeah, those aspects of ourselves that make up the whole, right? That the conscious part of ourselves, the adult, is the one that's handling all the to-do lists and the working and the taking care of everybody else in the family and doing the dishes and bringing together the meals and making sure the house is clean and the laundry's done and blah blah blah, right? Whereas that another inner aspect of ourselves is our Nok-Miss, our grandmother, right? The crone, that can help us out by taking care of our inner child. So when our inner child, no matter what age that we're experiencing those triggers that bring out that inner child issues, there's an aspect of ourselves that can help us with that, right? Because we're a whole being, but we have aspects that we can draw on during those times. And so if you're feeling your adolescence, and let's call that like between 10, right? 10 and 17 or so, right? And do you remember what you were like at that age? And maybe you're feeling some of that energy today. Because for me, it's kind of like Friday, right? Because this show goes from Sunday to Thursday. So in a way, this is kind of like my Friday. So TGIF or TGIT. um, and so it's a possibility that you're feeling those kind of energies of your adolescence, whatever that was, right? Perhaps, perhaps you've had somebody push those buttons. Maybe they're your trigger to your inner child issues, right? And because we all have them, we do. Sometimes we've healed enough that they're not really there anymore. It's kind of like a memory of them, almost like a dream. And then there's other situations, events that we haven't healed yet. And so when they come to the surface, we really are better off turning some attention to them to address them when they come to the surface rather than pushing them down or repressing them, right? So call on your inner nana, your inner Nokomis, to come and help you with your inner child. Because there's some of us who experience what it's like to have a loving grandparent, right? Somebody who, not just babysat you, but really enjoyed your company, right? And we have those memories of our grandparents that way. Some of us do, and so we can draw on those. If you're feeling your inner adolescent, maybe you're going to have some fun. Maybe you can let them out and play, and have them do something fun, right? That part of you. Adolescence. Now the shields, to me, when we're talking about the rose, we're talking about the thorns, right? That sometimes we have to have our thorns apparent and out, depending on who is in our immediate vicinity, right? Who's pressing the buttons and triggering those adolescent inner child items, right? Julie. Yep, there's a rose. Back, damn internet. That was me yesterday. I shouldn't even say that. It wasn't the internet. It was my Dropbox. It would stop syncing. Yeah. I got it figured out though, finally at 10:30 last night. Jen says, my son is moving home. He needs his mama, and his mama needs him. There will always be thorns. There needs to be, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't appreciate the beauty. Exactly. And the thorns are a part of our personality sometimes, aren't they? Our two-legged, our human personality. We came with those too. And sometimes those are our gifts, depending on what situation you're dealing with. Valerie's saying, our precious dog crossed over yesterday at the vet and put his chin on my head and on my foot. Aw, Valerie, if I could give you a hug, I would. That is such a hard, I'm getting all teary-eyed here. I've been through it, yeah, a couple of times. I'm the one who has to go in with the pups because Paul can't handle it. Can't do it, he says. So I'm the one that usually has to go in. Yeah. And so, I know the feeling of that. So hugs to you, Valerie, hugs to you. Yeah. It's going to take a little time, isn't it? All those memories. Julie says, Rose Moon, Cancer mansion of the zodiac. Perfect. Mercury retrograde is now moving through Cancer, so calls up all those needs for safety. Nurturing, comfort foods, good grandma love. So. Don't you just love that? How spirit brings us that kind of information. exactly in the perfect timing for us, right? Yeah. And so we have, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to, if you have um, some of those inner child traumas that you haven't paid much attention to, or you're kind of ignoring them, and if it's coming to the surface, maybe you have somebody who's kind of triggered something for you. It's an opportunity to take a look at it, acknowledge it at least, right? Talk to your spiritual team and say, okay, obviously I must be ready to do this one because here it is again. So what's the next best step to heal this, to release it, right? To gain the wisdom from it. What's my next best step? And start dealing with it, right? Because it's here. It's here. If you ignore it, if you suppress it, repress it, it'll go away for a little while. But we all know that it's going to come back around, maybe with different players, different characters in there. The situation might look different, but underneath it all, it's the same, right? So we're better off taking a look at it, getting some help with it. Yeah. Run in paradise. Yeah. Yeah. And who doesn't? Who doesn't like to get roses as a gift? You know, fresh cut roses of any color. You know, usually we equate roses with color red, right? The color red. But they come in all colors. And my most favorite rose is lavender. Lavender roses. Yeah. And my dad's, his was yellow roses, because he was from Texas, and so that was his favorite song too, Yellow Rose of Texas. Um, yeah, so they come in different colors, and even with the color, whatever is your favorite one, even with the color, Spirit's telling us something about it, right? Yeah. So this first card is I believe is telling us, Spirit is letting us know that we need some nurturing, you know, and it's usually about ourselves. It's usually about ourselves. But perhaps it's like Jen, that maybe she's the one who's going to be doing the nurturing, right? Either way, somebody needs to be loved. There's a child, an inner child who needs love. And if you're loving your own inner child, right? Ask your team um, to help you to experience what it's like to have unconditional love. Unconditional love. And, you know, perhaps they'll bring it to you in a dream. Perhaps you'll maybe be watching a movie or listening to a song or something. Or maybe somebody from out of the blue will contact you that you haven't spoken to in a while, right? They'll show you. They'll bring it to you. Ask them. Ask them so that you have that experience, what it's like to have someone extend unconditional love to you. There's nothing like it. And it really does bring such a feeling of joy and happiness, right? Because joy is actually a higher vibration than love. Did you know that? Yeah. That's why they have the sweetgrass braid in the card at the very top there of the circle. Yeah. Brings joy. All right, and thank you, Julie, for all this information. She says, Cancer Mansion rules mother, inner child, stomach, breast, security, nourishment, emotional guidance, intuition, etc. This is a perfect topic. Yay. It is. And let me tell you, when our inner child feels safe and loved, our intuition is even stronger, because our inner child, that's, some people call it the subconscious self, okay, is the messenger. This is my imagination, okay, and how this all works together. Is that, especially when you're dowsing, is that you have this question and you're asking spirit, asking your higher self for information. Your inner child is the one who's delivering that message to the higher self, to your soul, because at a soul level, we have access to so much information, right? And so the inner child is the messenger, goes tearing down the hallway to the higher self and says, we have a question, we have a question. And they give your soul the question. And the soul delivers the message to the inner child. The inner child goes tearing back down the hallway to the conscious self and says, here's the answer, we got the answer. So the inner child is the messenger, is your intuition. It's the one who, when you're dowsing, moves your muscles for your pendulum to swing in a yes or no, or whatever you're dowsing for, okay, whether it's clearing or whatever. So our inner child is really very important. And so when our inner child feels safe, when our inner child feels loved, our intuition goes up, our access to it. Yeah, okay. And so Julie's also saying that made a brand new batch of homemade rose water on Monday and used it for clearing last night before leading meditation. I have directions for rose water in the Tarot Journey Facebook page. Oh, good. Maybe you can even put the link in there. Would be good, Julie, if you could do that for us. That would be great. And Valerie is saying, yes, he was letting me know he'd be running in paradise by getting on my foot. Aw. Yep, he's going to be all happy and tail wagging, right? In spirit. Love that. Inner child is the messenger. Yeah, it is. Okay. So, and number 4, right? Number 4 is all about the physical world. It's about the earth plane. And some people would equate it with angels too. Number 4. All right. So the next card, this is a good one, is Cherry. Cherry. It's 42, number 42, the 42nd card in the deck. That's a 6. Cherry is feminine energy. It's the feminine energy. Brings in the energy of the north, Venus, and water. So this is a very feminine card. The spirit of this card is extremely feminine. Because the north, the element in the north is earth. And earth is feminine. Obviously, Venus is very feminine, and so is water. Right. Cherry. Now, the author says, I am the sweet cherry. My bark is the medicine that soothes the throat, calms the nerves, and relieves stress. My leaves slowly fell into your life today to let you know that love and adoration are blooming and the graceful fragrance of romance is flowing. It says, I am the tree that puts you in charge. My healing action cleans, clears, and rejuvenates. I am the tree of the heart. So it's really all about love today. You know, for some people, it may be romantic love. It may be. But coupled with the first card, I think it has everything to do with loving our inner child. Right? Yeah. And it's a lot of feminine energy going on here, right? We got the nurturing, we got water, emotions, Cancer, the astrology sign of Cancer. Sweetgrass is feminine. We got a lot of feminine energy flowing in these first two cards. And we have to also know that our emotions are really involved with this, especially with our inner child. So you might want to check in with yourself, right? And if you have any inner child adolescence kind of issues coming to the surface, is to really look at what is the emotion around them. You know, what needs nurturing about your adolescent, your inner child? Yeah. Maybe they need a hug. And even with, let's see, you just got to scroll up just a little bit. Even Valerie, I know that when we have our four-leggeds, our companions, when they cross over, you know, the loss, the feeling of that grief, right? It's a very strong emotion. And in many ways, our inner child is extremely affected by it, right? So to be able to take some time for yourself over the next X number of days and really nurture your inner child, really, you know, just like you would take care of one of your grandchildren if you have grandchildren, or how your grandmother took care of you, right? Holding you, sitting in their lap, you know, maybe they're rocking you to sleep, right? So really loving that part of you, that inner child. A lot of emotions going on today, pretty strong ones too, right? Oh, there we go. Julie, thank you for putting that link in there. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that too. She says both cards have the rosy red color too. Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. It's definitely a lot about love. Unconditional love, I shall add. Yeah, good information about the inner child. Absolutely. And Jen says, these are so right for me. My mom always opened her door when I needed to come home. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, that nurturing, right? Nurturing that inner child. Yeah. Just wanted to say, and with the cherry, that last sentence here, it says, I am the tree of the heart. I am the tree of the heart. I am the tree that puts you in charge. So when we're grounded and we're balanced and we're centered, we can take in so much more energy, right? Information. And our reaction to that information comes from our high heart, because we have a balance between our head and our heart. And so we have a balance between our mental thoughts and our emotions, which puts us right here at our high heart. And so when we're grounded, balanced, and centered, it's so much easier to be in that frequency. In that frequency. Yeah, in love. And actually, you know, Spirit is actually talking a lot about love here, but they're actually bringing in the aspect of joy, that feeling of joy, which is it's a higher vibration, it's a higher frequency than love, right? And so love is the pathway to joy. Very cool. All right. So our third card, gotta watch the time here. I don't want us to be late for Maureen's show. The next card is Hunting Moon. Oops. Hunting Moon. It's number 7, the 7th card in the deck. It's about spirit. Represents the astrological sign of Libra, baskets, and adult. And look who's on the basket. Looks like crow to me. Maybe raven. They were here visiting yesterday. Hunting moon goes from September 23rd to October 23rd. The author says, I am the preparation for the coming winter. I'm here to remind you to prepare your house and put it in order. You must be mindful of relationships and to know that things are not what they appear to be. Hunting moon, there's a little bit more to it too. She says, listen closely. Now is the time to consider your artistic side and create something of beauty and give it away, just like Julie just did. She says, I provide strength for your hunt, for your quest. Okay. So this particular card, when I read the information, taking in the first 2 cards, what jumped out at me was, I provide strength for your hunt, for your quest. It's all about the preparation. Now, we could take into consideration, maybe their spirit's talking about our physical house to put it into order. But there's so many meanings to that, right? There's another one is, it's time to clean house. Have you ever heard that one? Time to clean house. And a lot of times that particular saying means that you're going to be releasing things that no longer support you, right? That are a drag on your energy. You know, that they're not beneficial. They're not adding positive energy to whatever it is that you're doing. And so Spirit's also telling us is that, okay, you got a lot of love and a lot of nurturing here. Whatever is not loving and nurturing you, you might want to let it go. Because it's taking up energetic space that where love could reside. Yeah. And it's okay. You don't have to do it in a dramatic, traumatic way. You can be grateful and say, you know what, thank you so much for being here when you were needed. And to help get through whatever that was at that time. But now we need to let you go. We need to let you go because you whatever it was served a purpose and now it's done. And so let it go. Yeah. Be grateful, say thank you, even be appreciative, and let it go. So that you can open up that space, that energetic space, for even more love to come into your life, for even more joy to have a place in your life. So that your inner child can feel loved and safe. Right? Yeah, that's a good one. Hunting moon. I'm going to catch up with you guys in the chat. Hang on. Rob is saying, never full moon a werewolf. Jen, self-love, love of self, respecting yourself, especially respecting your boundaries. Far out, I am Libra, and grow gives me signs. Oh, yay. That's good. And that crow gives you signs. I get it. Okay. So it's all kind of coming together for you in this message, huh, Julie? I'm sorry, Jen. Julie is saying, interesting, we have a card of summer, rose moon Cancer, and now autumn, hunting moon Libra. Definitely seasonal integration. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And even with the changing of seasons, right, on the medicine wheel, those are at the crosswinds on the medicine wheel, the changing of the seasons. And in the crosswinds, sometimes it doesn't feel comfortable. It's kind of like air turbulence when those change in the seasons, those emotions, those feelings get triggered, right? Yeah. So actually, it's an opportunity. Even though it feels uncomfortable, it helps us. It helps us to remember to get to be grounded and balanced. Right? So if you haven't done your grounding today and your centering, you might want to pause and do that. Pause and do that, okay? Um, on all energy levels, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, yes. Yes. To have it in a holistic way, we have to cover all four bodies, right? That's right. All right. So I do believe today we're going to show you all the cards together. So that to take in as much information as you possibly can. If you're grounded, perfect. If you haven't done your grounding yet today, my suggestion is to call in your spiritual team, your whole team, and then take a big deep breath in. And as you look at the cards, you're asking your team to help you, right? Help you to take in as much of the information in an optimal way that's meant for you. Okay? So here we go. Nice deep breath in, calling in your team. On the exhale, taking in the spirit, the information of the cards from today, so that you can take in what's meant for you in an optimal way. Okay? It's all about love. It's all about nurturing our inner child. It's all about releasing anything that does not bring in love to you. Letting it go. Freeing up that energetic space for even more love in your life, for joy to take place. And that we have all kinds of help from spirit to do that. Okay. There we go. That is all about love. Yeah. It's a good one. To be able to end our week together, Sunday through Thursday, for the spiritual roundtable. It's a good note, right, to go out on. So if anything that was shared today resonated with you, it felt good to you, my suggestion is to embrace it. Embrace it and then watch. See, feel, sense how today's energy is unfolding for you and where this information can be helpful. Right? Yeah, and if it didn't resonate, that's okay. Wait till Sunday. Come back and join us on Sunday and see what the cards. Maybe that will resonate with you. Perhaps you're the messenger and you can share the recorded show with somebody, and maybe they're looking for a spiritual community, or maybe this is information that they were searching for, right? And you can be helpful that way. Yeah. So one last check in the chat here. And Julie's saying, love that. Thank you for this topic today. Have a rosy day. You too. And Jen says, a beautiful message for today. Thank you, Neshi. Blessings, love, light, peace, and abundance. Back to you, Jen. Back to you. Thank you for being here. And thank you all for being here with me today for the Spiritual Roundtable. Please join us. Its show's coming up next is Angel Therapy with Maureen Mann live stream. She is talking about beginnings and endings and how the angels can help us with that. And she's also doing angel readings, cards, the second half of her show. So if you enjoy that, you can get a card reading from Maureen. And then this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time is Living in Two Worlds with co-hosts Ortrune, it's got to slow down a little bit, Ortrune Franklin and Carl Franklin, and myself. I get to produce their show tonight at 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern, and tonight's show is all about our soul and our connection, our conscious connection to our soul. It's going to be a good one. Make sure you're grounded for that show because it's going to be kind of deep. All right, so hopefully we'll see you in the live chat for angel therapy because that's where I'll be. And thank you so much again for being with me today, whether it's the live chat or for the video, the recorded show. Thank you so much. And we'll see you on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern for the Spiritual Roundtable. Bama Mina, that's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. Love you guys.